Great, so this is where we begin. Happy 4th of July, or day after 4th of July. It was an interesting day for me and Maria, more so me, because I tried to surf and I have just never caught that bug of surfing. And there were 25 to 30 mile an hour gusts coming onshore, which means it's like being on a surfboard treadmill. All you were doing was paddling out, and I'm not very good at paddling, so it was not necessarily fun, although I did have fun bonding with the people I was with. But what ended up happening is I came in and I found out, oh great, the blowers are happening. I found out how much glycogen matters in the equation of the body and its ability to do what it did. I completely blew out my glycogen because I have no muscle efficiency at paddling. So every activity, you have to create an efficiency around it. It's not you automatically know how to do it. You have to work at it, and your body has to form an economic connection to whatever you're doing. And I blew out all the energy I had right away. I didn't evenly use it over the time. So when I got out of the water, I was completely exhausted. I couldn't speak, I couldn't do anything. And I had to sit there until my glycogen stores were restored. I had to properly hydrate. And more importantly, I had to finally eat something to get my energy back up because of the fun experience surfing, which, like I said, I just don't have the capacity or desire to find surfing. I'm sure it will come with time, and if I pick better days than the day that I picked. But it was energetically costly to me. But either way, I learned a lot, and I learned about what muscles we use and how we use them. And even though our feet aren't, here's Maria, flat on the ground, I found out how much we use our core and how important the core is just by staying on a surfboard, and how even if you're on something like a surfboard that's unstable, you can form asymmetrical motion because my right hip is really tight, but my left hip is not. And so that really shows me how I was using things imbalanced while I was out on the ocean. So today, we're going to try to balance those things out, and it's going to look like a lot of what we typically do, but we're going to be mindful that we do have processes that cause us to be asymmetrical, so we're going to really work at creating symmetry and creating balance, because that imbalance creates the things that go wrong with our bodies. There was a guy I was talking to on the beach, and he was telling me about how he has a weakness of his right shoulder, right arm. But I could see him standing like this, and I could see him favoring that arm, and I'm just like, what's it gonna take to get your head back over your body? And he's all, I didn't even notice my head was over there. So we're gonna work on those things, and we're gonna work on being more symmetrical. So we're gonna start out with the block, and we're gonna go into our calf stretch. So for Maria's sake, I'm gonna start on the right side with the right heel, heel on the ground, a ball of the foot on the block, and we're gonna stretch the calf out. Abs are nice and tight, and just see what's tight. I mean, this is actually surprisingly tight for me for having done nothing with my lower half of my body because I was just paddling the whole time.
Walking on the beach.
Walking on the beach, that'll do it. Abs are nice and tight, you're gonna pump your hips forward, but I can handle that. I have an efficiency with walking. I do not have efficiency with paddling, that was awful. Abs are nice and tight, you're sucking in your tummy. First, second, third chakras are on. First chakra is your pelvic floor, second chakra is your lower abs, third chakra is your upper abs. We're activating all of that as we're lengthening this calf. I want you to feel for symmetry as we go through this. So obviously we're only working one side first, but when we go to the other side, I want you to examine what's going on. What number is it? What?
13.
Okay, good. Abs nice and tight, chest up. No pressure in your low back. We're working muscles and not joints.
20.
Okay, let's switch sides.
We need 10 more.
Oh, we'll get back to it. Don't you worry. Oh, this is where I can really feel this hip being tight. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking your tummy. You're gonna pump your hips forward. Oh, that does make sense. We walk the beach in one direction. See? You learn things about yourself by getting sore if you're mindful. Abs are nice and tight, sucking that tummy. And that's what we want to do, is we want to constantly learn something about our bodies so we stay checked into our bodies and not departing away.
20.
We went 30, didn't we? Okay, we're going to go back and stretch again. We're going to take the roller off to your left side. Abs are nice and tight, hips are forward, you're sucking in your tummy. We're going to do a lift lowering of the hip first. This will activate your glute medius.
Abs in.
She's talking to you guys.
9, 10.
Okay, we're going to lift our hip up. Keep your hip in the air. That means the ball, your whole foot of your left foot is off the ground. You're going to swing your leg back and forth. Keep your feet parallel. I know it's going to want to turn out, especially in the rear. Don't let it turn out in the rear. Keep your feet parallel. Keep that hip up. Keep your abs engaged. Suck in that tummy.
9, 10.
And then we're going to switch sides. Going back and forth instead of doing one side for longer, so you can feel the differences. Abs nice and tight. We're going to lift lower this hip. You should feel an oblique working. You should feel your glute medius working. All of your abs engaged.
Are you recording?
I did.
Set.
Keep that leg up as you swing. Keep those feet parallel. I know it's going to want to turn out, especially when it goes back behind you and you can't see it. Smiles are up. Okay, good. We're going to go back to the other side. We're going to put our hip into the lowered position. That means you're going to bend this knee. It's going to bend completely. Okay, so the angle at your right knee, or sorry, your left knee, the angle at your left knee is now fixed. You're going to take that leg back behind you, and then you're going to bring it forward. So you're not lengthening or bending your knee, you're moving from your hip. An oh so important activity that we forget how to do. And this is why people over time think that they don't like running. Abs are engaged. Keep the knee fixated at one angle, don't let it change. And we switch sides. In fact, if you cannot do this, you cannot run because you create such odd, it's called angular momentum of your legs that throws your whole body off. So, lower the hip down, abs go on, bend the knee, you're gonna take it back behind you, and then forward. Try to keep it aligned. So don't have it flare out. Make sure it goes forward and straight back. Keep the angle at your knee the same. Keep your abs engaged. Notice if one side's harder than the other. Try to balance it out.
10.
Yay! We're gonna come back to this side. Your heel is down. Your right ball of your foot's on the block. You're gonna bend that leg again. You're gonna take that leg back behind you and we're gonna just bend it and straighten it. Bend it and straighten it. Abs are nice and tight. Keep that knee lined up. Knee over the top of your foot on that right leg. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Keep that knee at the same height when we're doing this activity. Okay, so leg back behind you. Keep that knee back behind you at the same height. Abs are nice and tight. Bend and straighten your leg. Okay.
10.
Okay, switching sides again. Keep breathing.
Out of breath just switching sides.
Yeah. You're gonna bring your knee up, abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down and back, head's over the top of your pelvic floor, knees over the top of your foot. We're gonna just bring that knee above the level of your hip. Keep breathing. Abs are nice and tight, and we're switching sides. These are basic functions of the hip that we gotta be able to do. Abs are nice and tight. Abs are on, sucking in that tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. Smiles are up.
10.
Good. Now we could take this block aside. We started out with this leg, so the roller's gonna go over to your right. Okay, you're gonna take your leg out to the right. We're gonna start out with the knee bend. Your knee should be higher than your foot. Your knee should be at least at the level of your hips. Abs are nice and tight. We're just gonna pump and lift. Watch the alignment of this knee. Don't let it buckle in. Keep it turned out. You should feel your booty working. Sucking that tummy. Smiles are up. Shoulder blades are down, back. No stress in the shoulders.
10.
Okay, we're gonna switch sides. Again, watch the alignment of your left knee. Make sure that right knee is above the level of your foot. Abs are nice and tight, and we're gonna lift like you're trying to mount a small horse.
10.
Good. You should feel your hips and your butt working now. We're gonna take our right leg forward, left leg back. Abs are nice and tight. And we're gonna work what we typically work. Bend the front knee, watch the alignment, knee over top of the foot. Abs are nice and tight. We're gonna start out with our sit-ups. Suck in your tummy and then relax. Suck in your tummy, relax. Just repeat. What number?
10.
Okay, I knew it, see? Arms go back behind you. Make sure your high heel in the rear, front knee is bent. All the work's in your butt and your quad. Nothing is in your back because we're working muscles, not joints. Squeeze your shoulder blades down and back, abs on. We're gonna hinge forward and then come up. So yesterday, people were asking me, did I catch any waves? Yes, I certainly caught every wave in my mouth as I swallowed all sorts of seawater. But I think they meant, did you ride any waves? And the answer to that was no.
10.
Okay, come together in a squat. We're gonna stay low. Abs are nice and tight. Hands going to stick them up, suck in that tummy. No pressure in your low back. We're gonna squat down and up. Feel the work in your quads and in your butt, not in your back, not in your neck, not in your knees. Abs engaged.
10.
Okay, good. Let us take our right leg back behind you. And you're breathing. Knees over top of your foot, high heel in the rear. Okay, sit up. Suck in that tummy and release. Suck it in, release. So after surfing, I ate so much food, more food than I've eaten in a long time, showing me how much energy I expended doing next to nothing in the water.
10.
Okay, here we go. Abs engaged. Remember, works in your quad, works in your butt, not in your low back. Abs are engaged, lats are on. And here we go, hinge forward, and then come back up. Smiles are up. Hold your balance. Okay, bring your feet back together, stay low, hands and stick them up. Here we go, squat down and up. Abs are engaged, you're working your quads, you're working your butt, working your abs, not your low back, not your knees. This will help if you ever could get up on a surfboard, you being able to shock up towards. Okay, stay low, abs are nice and tight, spine is straight. Look at Maria's back, it's straight. So now you're gonna take your leg out to the side and we're gonna lift it up. Oops, I'm covering up Maria. Try not to move your right knee.
10.
Okay, switching sides, stay low. Abs are nice and tight. Try not to move your left knee. Ooh, Abs are engaged.
10.
9, 10 for me. We're standing on 2 feet now. Legs are locked out. Abs are nice and tight, hip circles. Move from your hips, not from your head.
Ooh, the shirt is bright, isn't it?
Yeah, these shorts are bright too. We look really tan again. Go in the opposite direction. Oh, there you go. Okay, let's try it again. Right leg forward, left leg back. We're gonna cross midline. The reason we cross midline is it's actually a very powerful move, and if you can do it, you can easily take your leg to the outside. But if you only work the leg to the outside, it doesn't necessarily mean you have enough balance or core strength to do it across midline. That's why we do this. In this case, the knee is not over the top of the foot, but your feet are running parallel. Abs are nice and tight, shoulder blades are down and back. No pressure in your low back. Abs are on, quads on, butts on. Here we go. We're gonna touch the ground and come back up nice and slow. We are working the, if Michael could have got off of his belly onto his feet, surfboard muscles. But he never did, and he just drank a lot of seawater. What number is this?
8.
Use your booty, not your back.
9. 10.
Okay, stay forward. Knee is bent. You're gonna bend and straighten your rear leg.
Whoa.
Ooh, it should be burning. Your head should not be moving. What number is that?
8.
Oh my goodness.
9. 10.
Okay, switching sides. Woo-hoo-hoo. We're gonna cross midline, front leg, knee is bent. Feet are parallel, front knee is bent. Work is in your butt and your quad, not your low back. Knee is not over the top of your foot. Abs are nice and tight. Here we go. Abs engaged, work into your butt. Touch the ground, no pressure in your low back. If you feel pressure in your low back, it means you need to tighten up your abs and push your hips back further. This is both a stretch and a strengthening. Keep your core engaged. Don't let it work into your back. And now moving on.
10.
Ooh, stay forward. Abs are nice and tight. Spine is straight. No pressure in your low back as you bend and straighten that rear leg. Don't move your head. Keep breathing. Okay, come back onto 2 feet. Legs are straight, hip circles. Try not to move that head. We're activating the riding reflex. That's where the head stays still and balanced over the top of the body as the body is in motion.
10.
Opposite direction. Okay, we have not done. Oh, okay.
10.
Okay, I knew that. I was just getting you guys ready. We haven't done this in a long time. We're gonna do the little hip motion. Your feet stay parallel. Shoulders are down, back, abs are engaged. We're gonna start out with the right hip. You're gonna take it back. Send your right hip back. Suck in that tummy. Don't use your knees, you're using your core. So you should feel your abs and your back, lat muscles.
Okay.
Now we're gonna send our left hip back. Back, 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 back. There's a reason I'm having you guys send it back instead of forward, is it's more like running.
10.
Okay, now we're gonna do both sides, sending them back. Right side back, left side back. Just go back, 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 back. Because what happens is people start throwing their hip forward in order to run, and then they get a weird running stride. Opposite hand, opposite shoulder.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice
Even we get
idea.
mixed up. Okay, now double time. Opposite hand, opposite foot. Hip, I meant. Triple time. You should feel your butt clapping behind you. Blop, 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 blop. Elbows up. Suck in your tummy. This is core stabilization. You should feel a center side ache if you're doing this correctly. Suck in your tummy. We're not making donuts. And elbows down. What?
Donuts.
You know, where your shirt pushes through and you make a donut with your belly button.
Belly button donut.
Worst ones are the Krispy Kreme ones that push through the shirt.
Glazed
Yes.
and sprinkled.
Yep. Elbows up. You guys don't have spud nuts here. Spud nuts are huge. Keep breathing.
Still going.
And elbows down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hip circles. This really shows us how we don't use the hips as much as we could and should. Okay, go in the opposite direction.
9.
Okay, 9. And now opposite direction. Mari's having troubles counting today.
10.
Okay, here we go. Right leg forward, left leg back. It'll look familiar. Bend the front knee, push the hips back. We're just gonna work on that hip mechanics we talked about. You're gonna lower your hip down, then you're gonna lift your hip up. You're gonna stay leaning forward. See how Maria maintains an angle forward? That's what we want. What we really want to be aware of is that this knee does not move. This is hip mechanics. You should be using your booty. Abs are nice and tight. What number is that?
8. 9. 10.
Okay, so you're gonna shift the weight forward. You're on barely on toe. You're tippy toes. You're gonna do the same thing. It's okay if your leg comes off the ground. It's making your butt work. Spine is straight. Stay leaning forward. You should feel your booty working. Should make you want to say, howdy, partner. I don't know why, but it makes me want to think that.
10.
Okay, switch legs. So your right leg's back behind your front knees bent, knees over top of foot, and will remain there. Push your hips back, abs are engaged. We're working muscles and not joints, so no low back. Lower that hip down, lift it up. Keep that knee aligned over the top of your foot. Keep your abs engaged, keep leaning forward. Every time you should hit the top, you should be in a super ab contraction. Because these are sit-ups at the end of the day. Keep breathing. Okay, you're gonna come on the tiptoe, you're gonna open and then close. Open and close. Watch the alignment in your knee. Watch that angulation forward. No pressure in your low back. You should feel all the work in your booty cheek. Yesterday at the beach, we got to see a lot of different body shapes barely covered up. It was very educational. Abs are nice and tight. Good job. Come back onto 2 feet. See how your booty feels. Abs are nice and tight. Hip circles. Keep breathing. Opposite direction. I think there is nothing more miserable than sitting watching fireworks in 25 to 35 mile an hour gusts. It's like getting sandblasted.
7.
Okay. We're gonna go back, stretch the calf one more time to see if you accidentally put the work in your calf. You can put the block underneath your right heel. Abs are nice and tight. Your feet are parallel. You're gonna pump your hips forward. Suck in that tummy. Shoulder blades are down and back. Just see what it feels like. Should feel a whole lot easier. Keep those abs engaged. Remember?
20.
Okay, switch sides. You'll notice, because I went surfing yesterday, we're doing a lot of lower body, because I can't move my upper body. Suck in that tummy. Abs engaged. Don't use your butt to make this happen. Use your core. 20. Okay. We tried again this time without the block. So you're standing on your right foot, your knees bent, and you're gonna pretend you're tightening the screw at your knee so the knee doesn't change angle. You're gonna go from here, back here. It's okay if this knee bends, just as long as the knee stays over top of the foot, and you're gonna go back and forth like you're running. Your right arm follows your left leg, which is normal. Suck in your tummies. Abs are engaged. What number are we on?
10.
Okay, switch sides. So same thing again, we're heavy on the left leg, we're tightening the joint at the knee so it doesn't bend or straighten. We're gonna do the same thing again, right hand, or left hand follows your right leg. Abs are engaged, no pressure in your low back. This is all hip and ab work. Smiles are up, abs are tight. Okay, good. We are gonna do a forward fold. Hands on the roller, arms out in front of you, suck in your tummy, shoulder blades down and back. So like we've been talking about the last few weeks about athletic ready postures, you gotta be able to extend your arms out over the top of your head. Many of the things that I was being yelled at about yesterday was paddling with straight arms. And I thought for sure I was doing it, but apparently I wasn't because they yelled it so often. In fact, all they say to you is paddle, 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 paddle. So I must have been doing something wrong. Abs are nice and tight. And good. Let's come up nice and tall. We're gonna arch in the opposite direction. Yeah, there's a term that's not well received in surfing. It's, well, why? I would say, well, why are we doing this? Well, why do we do this? They don't like that question. They just yell at me. And I was doing more paddling. Okay, let's come into kneeling. Oh. I love when they say line up with the White House and that house down there that's non-constructed. And I say, well, why? And they're like, because. And I'm like, okay. And I line up with the houses and still nothing happened except me swallowing a lot of water. Okay, we're gonna stretch backwards first, opening up your quads, making sure those knees can bend and your toes can point. Suck in that tummy and then release. Well, why are we doing this? See, I gladly tell you. It's important to be able to lengthen the quads, bend the knees, and point the toes so the legs can recover, and more importantly, the knee joints can recover. And you make a connection to your abs. See? I am a good surf instructor.
Well, it's more like Nike.
Just do it.
Just do it.
Okay, let's curl those toes under. Push those toes back. Abs nice and tight, sucking your tummy. Woo! Stretch. This is tight from walking in the sand with the surfboard in a 30-mile-an-hour gust. Same thing, suck in your tummy and then release. We're doing this because the toes got to be able to bend while the knees are bending. I saw this video, it was actually really interesting. It was a time, what is it, time where it goes slowly but it's sped up? Time lapse photography of a pregnant woman with a baby in its stomach, and you could fully see the outline of the child doing all sorts of different positions. And they're not kicking to kick, they're kicking to change positions. Is that 10? Okay, let's come forward. You guys did an amazing job on that. We're gonna put the ball on top of the block. We're gonna do a little pelvic floor work. Ball's midway between your pubic bone and your tailbone. Abs are nice and tight. Once you get in this position, really feel what it feels like to be in between the pubic bone and the tailbone. Chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back. Abs are nice and tight. You're sucking in your tummy. Okay? Make sure that head is over the top of the ball. We're gonna start out with the arms, because this was an interesting thing, how important back extension was surfing. And how you don't have it when you think you do. Okay, you're gonna pump your arms back behind you. Keep your rib cage closed. Feel what it feels like to pull those shoulders back behind you. Keep your abs engaged, because you don't want your belly to rub off on the surfboard wax all covered with sand, which is essentially sandpaper. Okay, now we're going to take the arms in the opposite direction. We're going to reach tall over the top of your head. Keep that rib cage closed as you pump those arms back behind you. We're going back because we do everything in front of us and we seldom do things behind us. Okay, now arms out to the side as you take your arm back behind you. Chest open, abs engaged, rib cage closed. The other thing I found out is my right arm is longer than my left arm. I know this because I carried a surfboard under my right arm comfortably, but my left arm I couldn't even get it around the board. Okay? And in the spirit of that, and the reason why I paddle in circles instead of straight, we're gonna go paddling. I want you to reach over the top of your head, reach, reach, keep your abs engaged, core stays on. As they kept telling me, straight arms. Oh yeah, I can feel the muscles from yesterday. Keep your core on. Notice where it wants to shut off so you can save a little bit of energy. That's usually where you fall off the board, as I found out yesterday. And this is why surfers in general look really fit. Okay, good. Abs nice and tight. We're gonna just do one more. Actually, two more. Your arms are gonna come out to your side like you're giving someone small a hug. Your elbows are pulled in, and you're gonna just rotate back. It's like you're doing a short pickleball slice. Keep that head over the top of the ball, abs nice and tight. These are all the posterior muscles. These are the ones we never work.
20.
Okay, arms come to your sides like stick them up. You're gonna go like flat like you're on top of a table, and then back to stick them up. Keep breathing, keep your abs engaged. Smiles are up. What number is that?
11.
guess we're doing 20 because Maria wants to do 20. Either way, you should feel the tension of your shoulders, not your neck. Your neck stays loose. Head straight and you're breathing.
20.
Good, shake out those arms. We're gonna do a little contralateral patterning. Take your right foot forward. Abs are engaged. You're gonna take your left elbow across to your right knee. Keep your spine straight, suck in your tummy. So I also found out yesterday that body shape mattered. I was out there, this woman instructor that was helping me was very short-waisted, so she could sit up on her board, and with the wind blowing, she barely moved. When I sat up on my board, I got pushed all the way back to shore because I'm so long-waisted. What number is that?
20.
Right on. Let's switch sides. Chest is up, shoulder blades are down and back. You're going to take that right elbow across your left knee. You're twisting, keeping your chest up. So yesterday, the only time I was upright with my surfboard is when I was dragging it from the water back onto the beach. What number is that? Oh, 20, good. All right, we're gonna come off the block and ball. Hold on to your ball, your block's gonna move to the side. We are gonna come down and we're gonna do some ab work. Ball's gonna go in the small of your back. Shoulder blades are down and back, your feet are parallel, and your knees are over the tops of your feet. Chest is up, neck is long. Suck in your tummy. Pelvic floor is on. We're just gonna start out by sucking into that tummy and releasing. Keep breathing, keep smiling.
Exhale as you squeeze.
Yeah, definitely. That means you have to inhale when you're not squeezing. So I found out something else that's interesting. Just because it's cloudy outside doesn't mean you can't get sunburned. I'm sunburned. Next time I will listen to Maria. I thought you only needed sunscreen when the sun was out. Arms over the top of your head. We're going for a swim. Paddle over the top of your head. Don't be a lazy paddler because apparently you can be. I didn't know that. That's what they kept calling me. Use your abs. You see how abs are involved with paddling. Keep breathing. Are we sure yet? Are we out to the break? Oh, thank God. Abs are nice and tight. Your legs are going to go straight now. Okay, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to suck in the tummy and release. Suck in the tummy and release. What number are we on?
12.
Oh, yes, I knew that.
And 20.
Okay, let's go for a swim again. Swim, swim. Keep breathing. Abs are nice and tight. Suck in that tummy, make your body hydrodynamic.
20.
Okay, good. We're gonna arch over the top of the ball now. Wow. Rock from side to side. See if you accidentally used your psoas muscle instead of your abdominal muscles. If your back hurts, you used your psoas muscle. If your abs feel like they're being stretched, that means you used your abdominal muscles. Okay. Okay, bend your knees. Feet come off the ground. As we do Michael's favorite, you're just dropping your heels to your butt. This is non-weight bearing work across the knees, so there should be no pain or discomfort. If there is, figure out what muscles you have to turn on to stabilize and support the knees. Okay, we're going to break it into a little walk. Figure out what muscles you have to stabilize so there's no discomfort in the knees. Keep your pelvis on. Keep your lower abs on. Keep your upper abs on. You should feel your quads working. You should feel your hamstrings working, and maybe a little bit your calves. And good. We're going to do a little stretching because I saw it was a problem this week. Put your feet together, knees apart. You can put your sides of your feet back down on the ground. This is opening up the adductors, the psoas, a little muscle called the pectineus. Shoulder blades are down and back. You can rock from side to side. Okay, go ahead and straighten your legs. Continue to do the same thing. Notice if the pressure went in your low back. If it did, tighten your abs. Rock from side to side. Okay, then bring your knees to your chest. See if you put pressure in your low back, because if this feels better than the other position, you let pressure go in your low back. In this position, grab the sides of your feet. We're going to do a little happy baby, or happy baby. California, they call it dead bug. Sucking that tummy. Try to pull your feet and knees to your armpits. Suck in your tummy. And good. Go ahead and release your legs back to the ground. As you lift your booty up, you come off that ball. See what the ground feels like underneath you. I'm going to switch out the music. You guys just chill for a second as you slide up onto your roller. Sounds like it's raining again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it's raining. Okay, you're laying on your roller lengthwise, butt at one end, head at the other end. You have done some amazing work. Feel for symmetry. Feel for your feet being parallel, knees over your tops of your feet. Feel for the balance of breathing, inhale and exhale. I always thought 4th of July was about hot dogs, baseball, and sunshine. This weekend has been about rain, wind, more rain and more wind, and sand tossed in your face. Just breathe. Either way, we have a lot to be appreciative of. So appreciate in this moment your breath, your body for what it just did, and the fact that it is raining, at least where we're at. See what it feels like as your body relaxes into this? As it feels athletic ready posture, your feet are parallel, your knees are bent. Your spine is long, your head is able to move. Your core is engaged. By now you should also be finding your center, which means you're one step closer to meditation. And that's why athletic ready posture is so interesting, because it's a work posture that brings you closer to meditation. You guys stay on your rollers. I'm going to come off to bring you home. It was a very different 4th of July. Maria and I are settling into our new homes. We had weather more like winter than summer. But it's just to be at peace, instead of involved in tradition and the way it has to be, to appreciate what has come your way, because this rain is wonderful, because it's watering our plants. And it's making the mountainsides look really green. So just feel what it feels like to be in appreciation, in your center, in athletic ready posture. So on behalf of Maria and me, we'd like to thank you for being here, doing the crazy things we ask, supporting us, loving us. We appreciate you guys very much, and namaste.
Namaste.
Ha ha ha.